Okay, let me say good afternoon to everyone on another exciting day in the city of Houston, and this is an exciting day. Today, standing with me is Councilmember Dwight Borkin of District D. We have Lisa Kent, who's over my over HITS department when it comes to technology, and that's Miss Kent. Then we also have with me, who I have behind me, I've got Lowell McAdams, who is the CEO of Verizon, and then I've got the incoming CEO, Hans Vestberg, who is standing with me as well, Elizabeth Brock with Centerpoint Energy, and of course we have Bob Harvey, who is president of the Greater Houston Partnership, and Dr. Laura Murillo, who is the director head of the Hispanic Chamber. So it's good to have everyone with us today, and then there are a number of department heads and others who are with us in this audience. Let me just say to you that we've had some exciting things happen in the city of Houston over the past year. This is one more of those exciting, transformative moments in the city of Houston. I'm here to confirm and celebrate this afternoon's morning announcement that Verizon has selected Houston as only the third city in the United States to receive its 5G internet service. Look, and as Councilmember Jack Christie would say, that's a big deal, okay? It's a big deal. And joining us also is Councilmember Amanda Edwards at large. 5G is short for fifth generation wireless. It takes the power of the internet into a very masculine future. It will help catapult Houston into the forefront of data communications. And I'm confident that Houston businesses will grow and other businesses will come to Houston to take advantage of what is one of the 5G horizons, such as video in 3 dimensions and the improvement in the performance of driverless cars. This will bring jobs, no question, to the city of Houston. Quite frankly, it will bring companies to the city of Houston. In homes, 5G will eventually provide new forms of entertainment and boost the way we stay in touch, do business, and make things work. At the local government level, 5G can help turn our smart city into a smarter city by enhancing data for controlling traffic flow, saving money by operating smart street lights, and even more. And then the question may be asked, why Houston? I would simply respond, why not Houston? This is the place that will, in fact, impact the world. Houston and Verizon have a very good history. For the 2017 Super Bowl in Houston, Verizon invested $40 million to strengthen its local data networks. Many of the improvements are permanent, helping first responders and other public servants communicate with each other and the public. Its temporary stores and charging stations help keep customers going after the Hurricane Harvey flood. It gave generously to the Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund that I co-founded along with County Judge Ed Emmett. And I do want to pause to thank them. Certainly what they did for the Super Bowl, but I certainly want to thank Verizon for what they did when Houston was in this moment of need. And they stepped up in a major, major way. Please give it up to them again. Verizon tells us it chose Houston because it wants to be a part of our recovery and our resiliency. I respect the company's desire to keep the dollar amount of its 5G investment confidential. But, you know I'm so tempted. But many estimate, let me do it this way, I've been a lawyer, but many estimates made in public about the investment for 5G in Los Angeles and Sacramento put the figure at $100 million per city. I'm not going to even say what they have spent in Boston, but it is substantially more. And as we have talked with my best friends, both Hans and Lowell. And we just had lunch. And what we said is that what they could do in Boston, they can do exponentially more in the city of Houston. One thing in this city we know how to make things happen. This is a can-do spirit. We recognize the importance of business and this city and our growth. And we will move things out of the way in order to remove regulatory constraints that would create an environment for business growth, investment, and development. And that's what this city is all about, and I believe that's what they are about, and there's no reason why we can't collaborate and partner together. And there is no other city on the face of the earth that has what this city brings to the table. No other city is as diverse. No other city is the energy capital of the world. No other city has the world's largest medical center. No other city has a port that's #1 in the United States in foreign tonnage. No other city. And so when you take all of what we bring to the table and the company that they are, and you put them together, Houston can be the poster child for Verizon, and quite frankly, Verizon can be the poster child for the city of Houston. The company also likes the way our city departments have worked to support the arrival of 5G. And Verizon began installing fiber optic cable last year to get us to this point. And also I'm grateful that Verizon has chosen to place 5G in the 5 neighborhoods of my Complete Communities pilot project, aimed at making sure that underserving neighborhoods get equal city services going forward. We do not build a city where we have 2 cities in one. And we work to bring up those communities and those neighborhoods that have been underserved and under-resourced to make sure that the people living in those communities can compete with others in the global community. Verizon says 5G will be available to consumers in 3 cities, and 1 more yet to be named by the end of this year. Today's announcement would be significant on its own, but it's part of a fantastic pattern that started soon after I laid out a vision for Houston to catch up with and move beyond other cities on the digital innovation frontier. First, we combined 3 organizations into Houston Exponential to make our efforts more sleek and effective. Then this year, we joined with Rice University and many other partners in launching the Innovation Hub and the former Sears building in Midtown. Facebook brought its Community Boost program to Houston, and some of its programs are long-lasting. Microsoft came to Houston and announced it would provide a unique set of services, ranging from helping city government to hosting computer coding camps for girls. The Texas Medical Center announced TMC3, a biomedical research and invention campus that will gather together experts from across the globe to improve the health of the world. Verizon's announcement today is more proof we can turn vision into reality. And Verizon's announcement today means that this company in the city of Houston is prepared to up the ante. And this company is prepared to make a substantial transformative investment in the city of Houston. This is indeed a great day for this city because we are laying down the marker that in this city we are prepared to be competitive. We are prepared to be competitive with any other city, any other place on the face of this earth. And I want to thank Verizon for partnering with the city of Houston in this day. It is my pleasure now to introduce to you Lowell McAdam, the CEO of Verizon.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a saying inside Verizon, our best was good for today, tomorrow we'll do better. Well, the mayor has just raised the bar on what tomorrow is going to look like for both Verizon and the city. The mayor mentioned that we've had a relationship since we formed the company in 1999. I'll tell you a little secret. Houston was the poster child for the Verizon network in 1999, but not in a good way. It was one of our worst performing networks. Literally, we dropped about a quarter of the calls, 25%, before our customers wanted. So when the network decides your call is over before you do, it's not a good thing from a customer experience. But we have literally invested hundreds of millions of dollars in the network. In the interim, the mayor mentioned the Super Bowl. In 2010, we were one of the first cities on LTE, our fourth generation technology. So it's only fitting that today we take Houston on the forefront of 5G for us. And the mayor's talked a little bit about that. This market now is one of the fastest growing markets in the country for Verizon. It's neck and neck, by the way, with Dallas, so I'm sure there's a little Texas competition going on there. So I would like to salute Mayor Turner and his colleagues both in the local and state level for their vision, their partnership, and their commitment to make technology deployments of this kind a success, starting right here in the City Hall. I'd like to specifically recognize CenterPoint Energy and the City of Houston's permitting office for making this a streamlined process for us. Both entities have been extremely good partners, and when you're early on in a deployment, having those relationships is absolutely crucial to us. The 5G build-out will represent something very meaningful to Verizon, and I know to Mayor Turner and every Houstonian in the area. It will represent the potential of 5G and the most advanced communication network on the planet to radically expand access to the benefits of technology to all people within Houston. Mayor Turner has developed a complete communities initiatives that's designed to revitalize the city's historically underserved neighborhoods. Providing residents and businesses with next generation technology is part of that, and we're proud to support the mayor in this effort. To thrive in this area, we need to give individuals, families, and businesses and communities the tools and capabilities they will need to make the most out of these opportunities. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention all of the remarkable work that our company and the people of this city did during Hurricane Harvey last year. In addition to our pledge of financial support, and that was $10 million toward relief efforts, Verizon deployed mobile equipment to provide extra network capacity, not only for our customers, but for emergency personnel throughout the region. Just to cite one example, we worked very closely with Alan Rosen and the Harris County Precinct 1 Constable's Office during and after the hurricane, helping his team serve the community. We also deployed Verizon employees to shelter in Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio to help emergency teams and displaced residents with everything from internet access to the basics of charging their devices. I'm proud of the work that our team has done here in Texas at that very difficult time, but I'm also proud that we kept the relationships that we have over the last 20 years. Some of the people responsible for this strong relationship are here with us today, and I'd like to recognize them. Krista Bourne, the president of our market here in Houston. Michelle Robinson, who leads our relationship with the city. And Lauren Love Wright, who's leading our city engagement efforts to support the network build-out. I so very much appreciate the things that you three ladies and your teams are doing to help with this relationship. This past spring, we renewed our agreement with Harris County Sheriff's Office to provide wireless service and strengthen the department's ability to send and receive emergency notifications. As technology becomes even more central to the economy of this region, we at Verizon look forward to remaining very close partners to all of you in Houston to keep your communications network safe and strong no matter what happens for years to come. Thanks again, Mayor Turner, and to your wonderful team here in Houston. We very much value the partnership and look forward to it for decades to come. So I'd like to now turn over the mic to our incoming CEO, Hans Vestberg, where he can talk a little bit about technology and what it means for Houston. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'm extremely excited to be here in Houston today and seeing everything is happening here. But I would like to start thanking the whole team, the governor and the whole team and the mayor about what we're doing here in Houston together with the team of Mayor Turner. Let me start by saying I'm an incoming CEO. There are some benefits of being an incoming CEO. There are some challenges. One of the benefits is that you have to go around and meet the partners that we have around the country. And coming here and seeing the fantastic relationship that Lowell, our team members, has done here in Houston is just an amazing journey for me to see what you have done here. And then coming to 5G, my background, for the ones that don't know, I started 2008 thinking about how 5G will look like, the design and the research around it. We decided that 5G is going to have an impact on people, industries, and our society. Historically, 2G, 3G, and 4G has predominantly been sort of for consumers. 5G has so many other facets of it. We will, for some reasons, we will have totally new type of currencies. We will have speeds that goes from megabit to gigabit for us as people. We will have throughputs that are going from gigabit to terabit. And it's hard to understand how big it is, but it's enormous. We will go from connecting thousands of devices in certain areas to millions. We will go from latency of hundreds of milliseconds in a network to low single digits of latency. All this is creating a totally new way of enabling technology to bring the societies together and making it possible to actually have a sustainable growth in every city and every place on the world and see that all the citizens are part of this connectivity. The reason we are choosing, of course, Houston is, of course, all the great innovation that is already in the city and the long partnership we have here. And to be honest, this is going to be one of the first cities in the whole world that's going to get 5G. It's not only in the US, it's going to be the first in the world. Verizon is on the forefront of 5G in the whole world and not only in the US. And I'm extremely proud to be part of that journey and seeing that we enable our citizens, all our industries and the society at large with 5G. And we will start here and it will just continue. And hopefully, as we've talked about, we're going to create also an ecosystem around that 5G with a lot of innovation, new application and services for all that megabit to gigabit to terabyte that today just sounds like a lot of technology, but ultimately it's going to create services for all of us and for industries and societies. So once again, I'm extremely excited to be here, and what I've seen here on the ground today with my team and with the whole office here and the city, it's just amazing. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to this.
Look, I can hardly contain myself, but I know Lisa is highly excited. Lisa Kent, Director of HIT.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, to say that Houston is pumped about this announcement is an understatement. I'm the Chief Information Officer for the City of Houston. I'm responsible for ensuring that we provide technology infrastructure and services for all city departments that serve, enlighten, and protect the citizens of this city. My team looks for opportunities to do business with companies like Verizon who can help us make sure that we achieve Mayor Turner's vision of making Houston, transforming Houston into a digital city for all, including not only just those 5 areas that he's originally identified as complete communities, but all of Houston. We expect that Verizon's 5G announcement and the related fiber optic cabling infrastructure build-out is going to enable us to achieve 3 specific technology objectives. First, we're looking to optimize government operations. That means that we're going to be able to modernize and connect all of the different city facilities and communicate with all of the residents and the different businesses that occupy this city, and to be able to utilize that increased bandwidth that Hans spoke of. We're looking that as we implement a number of smart city initiatives, those number of devices that have to connect and communicate multiplies into millions and beyond. And so we need a next generation foundation that allows us to connect those devices and keep Houston not only running, but speeding ahead of the rest. The second is that we need to engage citizens through connected mobile and digital experiences with their local government. Our objective is that they are able to communicate and do all of their transactions through a mobile device where the work needs to happen and minimize the number of in-person transactions that need to occur. As we modernize those applications, we need that next generation bandwidth to be able to push more and more data across those devices. The last one is that we want to transform services to better utilize data. You've heard Mayor Turner talk before about how data and analytics is that next forefront that Houston's going after. In order to do that, we still have to build up the rest of that foundation. And so that data and those analytics and smart city applications and sensors have to be able to use a transformed network and transport mechanism like 5G will provide. And so we're really excited about the partnership. This was truly something that required both city government and corporate entities to be able to work together and look for things that were win-win. So I'm really proud of this partnership that we formed. Thank you, Verizon, for all of your hard work. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. And representing the Greater Houston Partnership is none other than the president, Bob Harvey.
Well, thank you, Mayor Turner. Lowell, Hans, welcome to Houston. Krista, thank you for all your support here in Houston. Lisa, I just want to say a few words. As the mayor said, this is an exciting time for Houston. Houston's a city known for innovation. We talk about manned space flight, we talk about medicine, we talk about energy. The future of innovation is digital, and the future of digital is mobile applications. So this is right in the center of where Houston needs to be. We've talked already this morning about virtual and augmented reality. How we're going to do things in the future is going to be driven by this technology. We've talked a lot about autonomous vehicles, driverless vehicles, the new evolution of transit that's coming to Houston with this technology. We talk about the digitization of our core industries, like energy, which is happening every day. Houston is in the lead. We need to be in the lead. So while we're pleased, we're not surprised that Verizon chose Houston to be that third city for their 5G rollout. As the mayor said, part of what makes Houston attractive for technology like this is the fact that the city and our Centerpoint and others make it easy to do business in Houston. A rollout like this is very dependent, frankly, on the support of local government and other key infrastructure players. So I'm pleased that Verizon has indicated that, once again, Houston is simply a better and easier place to do business. But let me just come back to where we started. The future is about digital innovation. Houston will position itself as working in those areas of innovation on the things that matter most. Things that matter, as we say. And that's all going to be about mobile, ultra-high bandwidth, low latency technology. So to be in the forefront of that is very exciting. So thank you. Thank you, Verizon.
Thanks, Bob. And of course, representing the Hispanic Chamber, Dr. Laura Murillo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And what a stellar day for Houston. Started out this morning with our Grand Mayor announcing our new rugby stadium. Congratulations on that, only to be followed by this announcement by our friends at Verizon, longstanding partners of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and of course Centerpoint, always at the table like so many of other corporate partners in this city. This is very important to Houston. Rest assured, this is for all of Houston. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce will be at the table to make sure that those that are least in this realm of the digital age are at the table, that we make sure that we are all connected, and that's going to be thanks to the City of Houston, our mayor, and of course, our friends at Verizon. Thank you.
Thanks. And I will be remiss, Centerpoint, your name has been mentioned. Elizabeth, why don't you come? Elizabeth Brock, Centerpoint.
I wanted to thank you, Mayor. You have a transformative vision, and this is an example of that. And at CenterPoint Energy, we want to be here to support you and other companies to make sure it's easy to do business here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me just, I certainly want to acknowledge Karen Patman over Metro. Karen, please stand up and wave so everybody know that you're here, chairperson of the board for Metro. Let me just say, seldom will you have, Vice Mayor Pro Tem Jerry Davis. Please, Councilmember, please come and join us. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Jerry Davis. Very seldom do you get a CEO of a large corporation. Today we have the current CEO and we have the incoming CEO after they made a major announcement this morning. And so we have is the continuation of what we are announcing here today. I'm very excited about this announcement because, quite frankly, it speaks not to where Houston has been and not to where Houston is today. This announcement speaks to the future of the city of Houston. And it also demonstrates our wholehearted commitment to really galvanizing all of our resources and establishing this integrated, robust ecosystem that we have been talking about over the last couple of years. Having said that, let me stop and take any questions that the media may have to Verizon or any one of us.
The complete communities, what other parts of Houston will be included in the 5G coverage, and will it extend to the surrounding suburbs and unincorporated areas as well?
I tell you, we're talking about the entire city of Houston. But what we wanted to make sure, sometimes when we talk about the entire city of Houston, it doesn't necessarily mean those neighborhoods that are underserved and under-resourced. It's the entire city of Houston, but we also wanted to make sure that the communities that we have identified, the complete communities, are included within that framework. So it's everyone.
Is it extending to the, like, say, Sugarland, Spring, those kind of areas as well, or is it just within the city?
Let me let Hans take care of that.
Thank you. Of course, this is in stages, and remember now what I said about 5G. There are multiple use cases of 5G. The first use case we're going to do here in Houston is about fixed wireless access, meaning broadband to the home based on wireless, which is uniquely positioned when you have the millimeter wave spectrum that Verizon have. So that's where we're starting. Of course, over time, you bring into mobility. Sort of the limitation in 5G right now is that we are so early on, so devices and equipment is actually the bottleneck. We're ahead of the whole standardization in the world, so the first phase of it, but over time, of course, we have not only an expectation, we have a plan to have 5G coverage for the full extension of a city like Houston, but it goes in steps, and we are, as I said, extremely early with our technology, and this is one of the cities that's going to be first in the world to experience 5G, so that we need to understand. We are probably 2 years ahead of the global standard, and that's what Verizon has pushed all the time in order to be earlier with this, because we know the enormous impact 5G can have on our cities, our societies, and people all around the world.
Will it be similar to other options? Will it help bring down some of the costs you could get right now with Comcast and AT&T to the home, or is it going to cost more because it's faster?
Thank you for the question. We will reveal those details when it comes to when we're going to go to commercial offering. What we have said right now is that we're going to have 4 cities this year that we're going to start with fixed wireless access and residential broadband, and Houston is one of them. But we have also said we will come with information as we go, and when we come closer to commercial launch.
And probably the better way to frame that is what is the degree of the investment in the city of Houston. That's a better way of looking at it, because the investment in Sacramento and LA has been, in each one of those cities, $100 million. The investment in Boston over 3 years has been something like $300 million. So, but we don't want to talk figures. Let's just say that their commitment to the city of Houston is a very real one and a very transformative one. And I've thanked the CEOs, but I do want to take the time to thank Krista Bourne, because Krista has been in here working with us ever since I became mayor of the last 2 years. And I do want to. I would be remiss not to thank you and your team because you all have been in at my table over the last 2 years, and we have been during Hurricane Harvey standing together. We've been at Texas Southern University standing together. We both talked about making this day happen, and I want to give a great deal of credit to your team. And as I indicated to the two CEOs, the foundation for this relationship had already been firmly established by Verizon team. And they can be very proud of this team that led the way to make this day happen. So I do want to give credit to Krista, to you, and to your team. Having said that, Bob, I think you can agree that, and Dr. Murillo, that over the last 8 months, Councilmember Edwards, Councilmember Borkins, Vice Mayor Pro Tem Davis, that we said we were going to move forward on innovation and technology. Andy Eakin will tell you, we were talking the other day, I think there were 2 companies that passed Houston by, did not stop here because we did not have 5G. Well, now it is coming. And not only that, we are on the front end, not on the back end. Globally speaking, not just in terms of Texas or the United States, but globally speaking. And so I do want to applaud Verizon, and we all look forward to a very meaningful, qualitative relationship as we go into the future. Thank you so very much. If you have any questions, feel please free to talk to me.